Lisa and I am the maker and owner of Clay Jewelry. I make polymer clay earrings like what I'm wearing. Today I'm wearing the marbled terracotta Esme minis. I will link them down below as well as my shop. I post videos every Tuesday, so if you're new to this channel, please subscribe and comment below. Turn on post notifications. It helps me so much in growing this channel and creating new content, so don't forget to do that. Today we are going to go through the process, kind of a behind the scenes of how I make the earrings I'm wearing today. They're just a really good statement earring that's still subtle and small, super lightweight, and there's also different techniques that go into making the earring. They're marbled as well as have kind of a terrazzo print on it. So I think it will be insightful for any of you starting clay or already into polymer clay. You'll learn maybe some new techniques or get a little inspiration for your own unique designs. So we're gonna switch angles. I'm gonna do a little voiceover and walk you through my process. All right, so I've gathered all the colors that I need for my earrings, and I am putting the terracotta color into my extruder and extruding some spaghetti pieces out and then chopping off the long pieces and continuing to extrude. And then I will cut those into my desired length. So I do about 1.5, 2 inches and 2.5 inches for the minis. And then I will start to assemble. Smallest size goes first, medium, and then longest on the top arch. And I will set that off to the side and assemble the second piece. I like to make my earrings in pairs when I cut off the excess. Here you can see I'm getting out a few large fuzzies. So I have my guide piece, measuring, and then slicing with my rectangular knife tool, and then setting it off to the side, and then making the second pair. And then I'll just continue to do this process. I do have a video on how to get out lint and fuzzies after you've baked your clay pieces. So if you are interested in learning how to do that, I will link that video down below. And then I do like to cut these in pairs and bake them next to the pair that I think I want the final earring piece to be, if that makes sense. So whatever looks best together, I'll bake together. Once you're done with your arches, we're gonna move on to the marbled terrazzo piece. I'm using terracotta and strands of the bright white and pressing them into each other. You don't wanna mix the colors very thoroughly because we want a marbled effect. And then on my thickest setting on my clay press, I will run that through a couple times, just folding and running through the clay press. And then after I'm happy with that, I will actually blend it into a ball again and run it through the clay press. Now here I am cutting out a few of the air bubbles. This is a really easy way to get out bubbles in your clay, and then running it through the press again. I check both sides of the marbled slab to see which is most interesting and I want to use for my jewelry and place that side up. And then I am using that linen color and a bright white for the terrazzo. I put that through the clay press on the thinnest setting, and then I will smear and tear asymmetrical pieces and randomly but strategically place them onto the marbled slab. This is a little bit time consuming, laying down every individual piece, but it looks so cute when it's all finished. This is actually a very similar technique that I use for my leopard print pieces. If you want a slower version and more in-depth explanation on doing the terrazzo pattern or marbling, comment down below. I'm happy to make those videos for you guys. So once I finish up my terrazzo pattern and have enough of that for my little discs that I make, I trim off the edges and I save them for later. And now I'm going in with a silicone detailing tool and just blending out some of the edges. This helps make it look a little bit more abstract, and I just love the way it turns out. You can do this or not. And then I will run that through the clay press on the thickest setting to press in that terrazzo pattern, and then I will smooth it over with the parchment paper. Now we're gonna adjust the clay press to about a medium thickness and run our scrap slab through and put our terrazzo slab on top of that, and then trim off the edges. And this will just help embed that terrazzo pattern and make it a lot more smooth. So we'll run that through the clay press again, back on the thickest setting, and then you're ready to cut out your circular pieces. With this process, I'm actually very strategic. I don't just cut out any circular piece. I look through the hole and make sure that I really love the pattern and that the way that the pattern sits is gonna look good on my earrings. So this part I do take my time with. And you just repeat this process. And once I feel like I've gotten all the pretty little pieces out, I will scrap that clay off to the side and save it for another day. Now that I'm finishing up with this slab, I am going to put my earring pieces in the oven, bake them, sand them, buff them, shape them, drill them, all that good stuff, and then come back with my finished pieces. If you'd like to learn how to perfectly sand your clay and drill holes, I will link those videos down below. So now we are assembling the earrings. I'm just adjusting my earring hooks and opening up my jump rings and putting those through the holes of my earrings. I like to use 2 pliers for this process, but you can buy jump ring openers. They're just kind of a ring that you wear on your finger to pry them open, but this technique is just easier for me. To each their own. You can do whatever you want. And I get my earring hardware from a few small local makers on Etsy. I just love supporting the small businesses, so that's where I get my hardware. But you can find earring hooks and jump rings at your local craft store. And then once these are all assembled, I will use rubbing alcohol and clean them off, because we are not trying to spread coronavirus or any other bacteria for that matter. So I'll make sure they're all nice and clean, wait for them to dry, which takes a few seconds, and then I will place them on my earring card and put silicone backings so they're nice and secure. Then I'll grab a cardboard cotton-filled box. I will fluff the cotton a little bit, place the earrings in there, cover it with my stamped logo, and wrap it with a little bit of tissue. And my final touch is always a cute little thank you sticker. Ta-da! That wraps up my video for today. I hope it was insightful, helpful. You learned a few new tips and tricks for your jewelry making. I'd love to see how your jewelry turns out if you use any of these techniques. So comment below or do a little respond to this video. I have all my social media account info down below, as well as the tools that I use down below. So be sure to check those out. I will also be linking the how to drill holes and how to sand polymer clay videos down below if you need help with doing that with your jewelry. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye!